This is Rat, and this is the Walking Podcast. Alright, it has been a good bit since I've last uploaded, and again, Boar will not be in this video. Schedules didn't work out. I'm on vacation right now. He's on vacation right now. It's just not, we don't have good planning. But I think I'll just start off with doing Hell's Survival Manual. If you haven't seen the first video for this, please go watch the other one, because it will make a ton of sense once you read it and know what's happening. It has been a minute since I've watched it, so to remember, I think what happened was, so our main character, I can't remember his name for the love of my life, gosh dang it, but our main character, he goes to, he's in hell. He died on the operating table, and what was it? I think, oh yeah, he was walking along the river, he got the stake out of the ground, and then the bird angel, like fallen angel type of thing, came in and kept killing him, or not killing him, but eating him over and over. And it ended with somebody wearing a mask. We don't know who that was. Somebody wearing a mask helping him. So who knows what that is? That could be something very interesting. Well, I think the best thing to do is just to hop right in. To be honest, I'm probably only going to do one part today, because I just want to get a video out there as soon as possible, because I checked, it's been 16 days from the point I'm recording this, so yeah. Alright. Hell Survival Manual. Beware the one who sings in the dark. Part 3. Guess who has a personal laptop now and doesn't have to subject themselves to strange looks at the library? Now, I'll be able to post here more frequently and maybe properly answer your comments. If you missed my last post, I strongly suggest you read it. If you are completely lost, okay, never mind. A lot has happened this past week. I almost lost a finger trying to open a frozen pack of meat with an old knife. Got enough money for a crappy computer and even a proper, slightly used bed. But before I delve into horrible memories covered in sulfur, there are a few things I need to clarify. It was brought to my attention that even though I talk a lot about myself, I kind of forgot to say anything about me. So yeah, I guess a little introduction is long overdue. You can call me Nate, short for Nathaniel. There, we got his name. When I died, I was 35 years old. After that, I remained 35 for a few centuries. The concept of age kind of loses its importance when you die. One of the few positives, I'd say. Without beating around the bush, I'm not a good person if I were. All these posts wouldn't exist after all. Before I died, I would have never admitted to this. I was blinded by greed, pride. Probably would have never said some bullshit like, I'm not evil, just realistic in today's world. To stop on top, you must keep others down. Okay, that's also great to know, because now we know why he's down there. Like, he didn't actually kill somebody, because I speculated about that in the last episode. And yeah, so alright, I'll stop talking. I gotta get back into this. I ask not to be glorified in any part of this. I remember several occasions that would make you realize what a shitty person I am, even though I'm currently trying to change. Anyways, we'll have plenty more time to talk about me after all the important things get out of the way. Today's point is important, so pay attention and remember. When the moon disappears in lust, beware the one who sings in the dark. The circle of lust is considered by many as the vestibule of the abyss. Almost all newcomers, with very few exceptions, fall into it when crossing the veil of reality upon death. Okay, so that's dust or lust. Ugh. The pit is lust. The tar pit. Okay, sounds good. So I was right about the seven deadly sins. That was right. Okay, perfect. Okay, I just gotta stop talking. It is essentially a mixed zone that combines small samples of everything that nine circles offer. An area mainly populated by low caste demons, small fallen angels, and newcomers, most of whom are desperate for an exit and have no idea what to expect there. Therefore, lust is used as a hunting ground by various things, from demons to even humans. Oh, so Okay, so that guy or girl that helped him could be a person that's just hunting humans. So yeah, perhaps if I had known how low humans had been to sink to survive in that place, I would have been much more cautious and wouldn't have suffered so much. It had been some time since I was taken from the clutches of my captor. Some flashes came to my mind, the recurring torture sessions, that person appearing with any indication, the descendant down the spiral wall, where I was tied to their body like a backpack. The path I was being led through was treacherous. Ahead of me lay plains of obsidian covered by a thin layer of ash. In the distance, a chain of twisted mountains stretched towards the sky. For a moment, allowed myself to falter. I thought I was being rescued, taken to some kind of refugee. I imagined myself filling my belly with succulent meats, sleeping on a soft bed, and quenching my thirst with pure crystalline water. I think I read that wrong, but that's fine. Friends aren't tied up. When I noticed the tightly twisted wire in my hands and feet, I tried to protest, to throw myself off their back, to cut myself free. But I was terribly weak. The person carrying me noticed that I was awake. I still remember perfectly my first interaction with this sneaky son of a bitch. Look who's up! You're very unlucky, you know. Angel's plaything in the first few days? Huh. And they say I didn't stand a chance in this place. I couldn't see his face behind all those clothes, but I had the feeling he was smiling. Who are you? Where are you? Where are you taking me? My. Such rude, fresh meat. Not even hi or hello. Shit, I would accept a how was your day? It's not like you're being very polite now. Hey, I'm a veteran, so I get a pass. Do you want to tell me where the fuck you're taking me already? I'm not playing games with you, man. Neither am I, young fella. You, my friend, are Jack's property now. You were on his turf, so now he gets to do whatever he fucking wants with you. Turf is being eaten by some horse monster creepy hybrid all the way up that giant thing. How does this constitute as his turf? Please, I just want to go home and see my wife. That dirty rat let out a laugh, interrupted by a horrible dry cough. Home? This is your home, buddy. Haven't you realized yet, poor thing? That's why you became an angelic sack. There's not a single good screw in that empty head of yours. But don't worry, even useless ones like you have a place in Jack's empire. Just wait until I deliver you. He'll be so proud. Maybe he'll even give me my own wife. Little plaything just for me. No matter how much I struggled, I couldn't free myself. Fatigue and hunger took their toll. All I could think about was this Jack character. I had no plans of being taken so easily, but until I recovered, there wasn't much I could do. For hours we walked beneath the turbulent clouds of Gehenna. Occasionally, a cacophony of deep interrupted cries would emerge in the distance. During these moments, my new captor would lay still on the ground and cover himself with dust. Something was following us. My limited experience with infernal beings told me that we couldn't stay still. My heart raced every second we stayed there, exposed, motionless, on the ground. But I dared not express my discontent. I feared that whatever that thing was, it could hear me and find us. At that moment, I was in a sea of emotions. Part of me realized to have left the spire. Another part terribly scared of not knowing what fate awaited me at the end of our journey. It felt like I was out of the frying pan and into the fire. As we resumed our path, I noticed that for the first time the sky was clearing. We were far enough from the cursed city to escape its influence. Looking back, I could see the perfect, unnatural circle of clouds covering Gehenna and the surrounding areas. I could see insect like beasts flying towards the city, drawn to it like moths to a flame, making it their lair, their hunting grounds, and forever home. But for some reason, I felt that going that far off the metropolis was equally dangerous. Maybe it was the stillness in the air, maybe it was the messed up situation I found myself in, but all of my senses were on high alert, and I didn't seem to want to calm down anytime soon. The clear sky gave me my first ever vision of the moon, or if you want to follow the locals, the eye of the behemoth. A gigantic globe of flesh up in the sky. Stare at it too much, and you figure out why they call it an eye. It seems to watch your every move once you're out of the city bounds, like some kind of twisted guard. Okay, my guess what that thing is in the sky is like almost, it's like a warden and a police officer. Or, oh my gosh, a warden in a prison. It's like kind of like there's somebody over there kind of escaping right now. If you guys want to go get them, go and get them, type of thing. That's what I'm thinking. I could be so far off, who knows? But this thing about theories. Most of the time, you're not right. And most of the time, the author's right. And also, another shout out to. Another shout out to Tito Gaius, the person who wrote this. Beautiful writing. I am loving this story. Again, falling in love right over again. But let's keep on going. My captor didn't seem to mind its presence, but I couldn't take my eyes off it. The way it pulsated every once in a while. It felt alive and conscious. After some time, we got to some kind of camp. Made in haste, a few big loose rocks put together in a tent formation, an unlit bonfire, and what seemed to be beds made out of the black leaves and ragged clothing. Didn't look comfortable at all. That rat threw me on the ground by the bonfire and sat inside the quote unquote tent. Now, my dear fellow, we will wait for the other collectors, which might take a while. So behave, and so no loud noises. Got it? Or else your one-way ticket to the Silver City will have to be revoked, 'cause you'll be dead. I'll cut your throat and eat you right here. It, eat me? What kind of sick bastard are you? The kind that stays alive no matter what. And if you keep on babbling like that, it won't be the only thing you'll have to face. As if a following cue, the loud and deep cries of some creatures echoed in the distance. I made sure to lower my voice after that. What the fuck was that? Shut up. If you don't want to find out. I wanted to ask about Jack, the Silver City, the collectors, but my fear spoke louder than my curiosity. So I just gave up and waited, not knowing what was hunting us in the dark. The eye was growing ever so slightly by the minute, its vision a constant reminder that safety was but an illusion, bound to break any time soon. As if confirming my fears, the eye once again began to change, this time glowing darker and darker, as if its flesh was spoiling before my very eyes. Oh God, that is nasty. That is like, ugh. See, for me, eyeballs, I hate anything to do with eyes. So that right there, that would be my hell. That's perfect. Like, ugh, so nasty, but so great. All right. Oh, crap. Not now. That moment I knew we were in deep shit. The sinner looked at me, concerned, something on his head, and gave up. Well, you're in luck, pal. I can't afford to let you die. After all that trouble I went through just to get you here? He said, getting up in a hurry and pushing me inside the tent. What's happening? Why's the moon gone? Looking up, I couldn't see the eye anymore. I felt like it was still there somehow, just so embraced by darkness it was impossible to find. Bit by bit, a stranger shadow descended from the sky and into the land. Everything was engulfed in a cold void. I couldn't see. I tried to speak, but was unable to hear my own voice. I couldn't even feel another thing, that cruel presence. I don't think I will ever forget it. It was like I could feel its sadness. Something was circling the camp, taking gentle steps towards the middle. I was quivering. It was so cold that it hurt to breathe. I could barely think. And then I heard it sing. The circle of lust houses, one of the most dangerous of the seven deadly sins, one of the biggest hunters of man and corrupters of heart. The succubus. Not a succubus. I'm talking about the original one, the primordial being the birth to the whole species, the one that still haunts the human plane and was the inspiration for far dozens of tales across the globe. The mermaid, the Huldra, the Leardak. I don't think I said that right, but that's completely okay. All but facades of same unholy being. The same one that chooses us as prey. When it sang, it felt like I was using cocaine for the first time. The high was immediate and powerful. It came in waves, lifting me up into the sky, only to let me fall into despair. I needed her. I was nothing without her. I tried to fight myself and run towards endless joy and pleasure, and something kept me from doing it. It started to sing louder, louder, getting angrier and sounding less angelic with each passing second. Suddenly, that dreamlike, almost orgasmic in nature state, I was changed into a complete nightmare. It was no longer asking, It demanded my surrender. My senses came back to me, only to bring me more pain. The first thing I saw was skin, covering my body and burning me alive. My skin was melting before my very eyes. My mind froze trying to understand the creature standing outside the tent. The torso of a woman, hips and legs like those of a spider. Where its arms would be, two bat like wings extended several feet in length. Its head reminded me of a perfect, genderless mannequin, except it had no eyes, no ears, or nose. Only one big circular mouth covering its entire face. Okay, that, I love how you took your own twist on it. I mean, it could be the normal succubus twist, but I'm not that deep into that lore. But that's very interesting. I loved that explanation of it because I'm thinking beautiful woman that's gonna turn scary, looks like a vampire. I don't know. That's what I would think as a succubus. I would not think this. This is terrifying sounding. This I would have nightmares about. But beautiful. You've outdone yourself again with explaining how these monsters have looked. And also, you take your own twist on it, and you're not like, oh, it's like every other monster. And it's just looks that way. It just looks like everybody else's story. That beautiful, beautiful representation. But honestly, beautiful representation. I love how this story is going. Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm gonna get back into the video now. Don't look at it. It'll break your mind. But it was already too late. It was getting tired of waiting. I could feel its wrath. It no longer wished to toy with us. Now it was going in for the kill. My mind was buzzing. I felt a killer migrating, getting worse and worse. I felt the urge to vomit, blood coming out of my nose. We were about to die. But then I heard a weird chant followed by a deafening shot. The succubus screamed in pain, breaking the spell and rushing towards the newcomers. You guys took your sweet fucking time, didn't ya? With my blurred vision, I could barely see the group standing on top of the hill. I was able to distinguish black robes and torches. Some were carrying rifles, adored with weird flowers. Okay, that's actually kind of cool, because I was about to say, like, how did somebody get a rifle in hell? I mean, it is hell, so who knows what's down there, because we've only seen, like, just one small portion, pretty much, of what hell encapsulates in this universe. But I like how it kind of says, like, I'm not sure yet, but I think it's saying that they made their own guns. I'm not sure, but I love where it has weird flowers on the guns. That's pretty cool. But all right, back in. Hold on, I think this is a new character. 2, 1. Shut up and get your ass over here, mice. We need to go now. Once again, I was being carried away from danger, the buzzing of shots still roaring in my ears. I could see other naked sinners, probably newcomers like me, chained up on top of an old modded pickup truck with spikes and plates of metal all around it. Okay, so these guys are like the worst of the worst. These guys, I mean, okay, I do have to say, like, there's the whole thing about surviving. You have to survive. Like, people do anything to survive. But this is like, I'm gonna relate it to The Walking Dead. This reminds me of, like, Terminus. If you guys saw that, I don't know if people are watching it, so spoiler alert. Terminus was this group of cannibals that, like, would be like, oh yeah, come on in, we're all fine, we're all nice, but then they would eat everybody. And it's like, that's a little far. I don't think I would have the guts to eat somebody in that type of situation. Maybe, I'm not sure. Nobody really knows what it comes down to when you're in that moment. So, yeah. I could see other naked. Oh, I already read that. The last thing I remembered before blacking out was the cry of pure rage from the succubus and a wave of pain passing through my body. I really needed to start getting ready for my shift now. Oh, sorry. I really need to start getting ready for my shift now. So, I guess I'll stop here for today. In any society, communities exist to create hope, a better future, and security for all. People got together to do things that aren't able to do themselves. But in hell, as well as any other place, the corruption at heart of humanity eventually breaks down. Every society turning into a play where only selected few control the strings and make sure everything works towards fulfilling with sadistic dreams. Somehow, in Silver City, things can get worse. I was about to learn that. Beautiful chapter. I'm going to call it quits here. I'm going to explain theories, what I like about this story, and more things. First thing, I like that you didn't make the guy that saved him, I think his name's Mice, or that's probably his nickname. That I've never met a person named Mice before, but there's always firsts. Um, but I think it's a nickname, Mice. I like how you didn't make him a good guy right away. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm here to save you. I thought you were cool, so I saved you. Yeah, you made him a bad guy, which is perfect. Love that. Maybe one of my theories is he only said that this guy was a slimy bastard. But that's the thing. If you think about it, I mean, we didn't know that a group was going to show up eventually, but I think at some point they are gonna maybe side with Nate, our main character, and maybe he'll work with them and maybe push Mice out of Europe. I'm not sure, just throwing theories out here. But honestly, guys, think that's all I want to talk about. Besides saying that this was beautifully written, shout out to the creator. Link will be in the comments. Loving this. Thank you so much for writing a beautiful story. And just remember, guys, to keep on walking.